Would you like to know how to best answer the interview question, why did you leave your last role? You've come to the right place because in today's video, I'm going to show you how to ace that interview question. Make sure you watch this video to the end to learn the key things you should and should not do to answer the interview question, why did you leave your last role? Hi, I'm Jo Randolph and I'm a branding consultant that helps women become experts and leaders in the field they care about most. On this channel, I share how you can get the job you want and become an expert and leader in your field so your career is something you love and supports the life you want. If you want to watch videos like this, come and join me and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. The fact that you're watching this video tells me that you have an interview coming up and there is one question that you are dreading. And that question is, why did you last leave your job? The reason why this is challenging is because of one of two reasons. One is that A, you've either been fired or you've been made redundant and you aren't quite sure exactly how to deal with that question in a way that doesn't make you look less attractive to an employer. Or the second reason is that you hated your job and you quit and you don't really know how to show them. So don't worry, whatever situation you're in, I've got you. Now let's first start with a mistake you want to avoid. And this mistake is that you play the victim and you talk negatively in your interview. Usually someone who acts like a victim is someone who blames the company for whatever situation they're in. Point is that you're actually saying that externally someone did something to you and it affected you negatively, and you also talk about it negatively. Now, the reason why this isn't effective is because you're actually giving employers a red flag. You're accidentally showing them that you are someone that doesn't have a good attitude. When I've actually mentioned this in a previous video in terms of how to look like the right fit. Even if you feel like you've been wronged, even if you feel like you've been going through a really difficult time, try not to show that in the interview, because the interviewer is not your friend, they aren't your buddy, they are someone who's looking to hire someone who can make an impact at the organization. And so the only thing they need to know is whether you are someone who has the right attitude and is competent enough to make an impact at their organization. And so this question isn't so much about what really happened and why you really left and the juice of, what actually happened. What they really want to know is actually get an insight into a bit more about who you are, your attitude, and your way of working. Because an easy way for a company to predict how well you fit into the organization is to see how well you fit into the previous organization. The big question is, how do you answer this question without blaming others and talking negatively? Now, we don't have enough time to go into depth into this question today, but if you want to learn how to pass your interviews and you want to learn how to get multiple job offers and increase your salary by up to 40%, then I totally invite you to sign up for my course or my free training, and I've put the link in the description box below, because there I actually show you how to get more interviews, pass your interviews, and get multiple job offers. The link is in the description box below. But for now, I'm going to share with you exactly the key things you need to make sure you say when you answer this question. Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to deflect and focus on why you want this role and why you are here in this moment. So an easy way to think about this is to think about, imagine you're a celebrity, because if you see celebrities that are being interviewed, particularly if you watch a politician will go there with an agenda and message they want to focus on for the 5-minute or 10-minute segment interview. And the person that's interviewing them might want the juice, they might want the gossip, or they might want to kind of clobber them on the head with really difficult questions and kind of make them look wrong. Now, what politicians or some celebrities do very, very well, particularly if they're media trained, is they always deflect and diffuse what could be a hot topic or controversy. They always deflect and refocus the conversation on why they are there. And that's what you want to do. You want to deflect and focus on the reason why you are there. Now, the easiest way to do this is to focus on why you want this job, because that's the reason why you're there. You're there because you want this job and you want to make an impact at the company you want to work at. The reason why I am interviewing for this role and I really want this job is because, and then you just fill in the blanks. What I'm really looking forward to doing next in my career is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You see, you're focusing on why you are here and you're focusing on the future. Now, some interviewers will actually be happy with that question and they'll move on to the next question and they won't even dig. But some people will dig and say, okay, that is great. So can you tell me exactly what triggered you to actually start looking for a new role? Now, that is when you have to kind of answer the question, but not with too much detail. Now, how you answer this question is really dependent on what your situation is. So if you're someone who was let go because it wasn't for performance reasons, maybe there was just an organizational restructuring and they got rid of everyone in your department, or they got rid of lots of people in your department, then it's important that you say that the company went through changes and they were out of a budget. They unfortunately had to let go X number of people, and you were one of those people because they could no longer have X number of people doing this position. Now, the reason why this works is because it actually makes sense. If a company no longer has the budget, then they know it wasn't your fault and things happened, it was completely out of your control. And the nice thing about this is that if you let them know that you have references and you actually have a really good reference of someone who shows that you are brilliant at what you do, and that they are lucky to have you, then it actually ends up working out well. Another situation in which you might be in might be if you've been let go for performance reasons. Let's say you were fired. The best way to answer this is to say that you weren't a right fit for that position. This is particularly important if that position is different to the role that you're applying for. So for example, if you say something like, my last job, my role was getting changed and my role was different to what I had initially been hired to do. And what my manager and I agreed was that actually it would be better if I actually do this role, because this role is what I'm really good at and this is where I make the biggest and most impact at companies. And that is the reason why I really wanted to apply for this role, because this is really what I want to do and this is what I'm very good at. Another situation you might be in is if you've been unhappy at the company you've worked at in the past and you haven't enjoyed it and you really want to change. It's best not to talk about how much you didn't enjoy it. Instead, focus on how you are ready for a challenge in your next role. Actually talk about how you feel that you want to use more of your skills and you feel that this position actually uses most of your skills or the majority of your skills, and how it's aligned with exactly where you need to be in your career. If you focus on that, then you're actually showing that you're someone who not only has a good attitude, but you're aware of your skill set, you're aware of your competencies, and you're also aware of where you can make the biggest impact at a company. Now, anyone that leaves for those reasons, it's actually a really, really interesting and a good person to hire. Anyone that has left because they were too unhappy, they got fired because they weren't performing well, or because they have a negative attitude, anyone that has that kind of vibe becomes less of an attractive person to hire. And that's it, and that's how you answer that question. Now, if you want to get more interviews and you want to pass your interviews and you want to get multiple job offers and negotiate a salary increase of up to 40%, then I totally recommend you try my quiz on what you need to do differently in order to get multiple job offers. To do this quiz, simply click on the link in the description box below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to know, what is the reason that you actually left or want to leave the company you've been working for? I'd actually love to know. Leave a comment in the box below. I'm so grateful you watched this video and I shall see you again soon. All right, bye.